What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Web4 Roundtable. Hope you guys are doing well on this amazing Wednesday here. I'm doing great. Planning on hitting the gym after this show is over. A lot of alpha to cover today. We'll cover some technical analysis as well. Have the studio set up here. Just working on some new graphics. I want to showcase the sponsors, the episodes, when we're doing them. So if you guys are new here, maybe you're just tuning in for the first time, we are switching our shows just Mondays and Wednesdays for now, until I personally just really see the market just kind of shifting. And I've been kind of talking about how until I see an actual trend reversal, I don't really see much changing, regardless of who's in what position, whether you want to talk about the foundation or whatever, and any use case for that matter. The macro is, at the end of the day, the biggest shifts. You can talk about regulations, the elections, the bull run cycles, that kind of stuff. So if you're new here, this is your first time here, welcome to the Web4 Roundtable here. Hope you guys like the graphics. If you have any other ideas on what to add, feel free to send them my way as well. All right, you guys, I'm about to share my screen. And then if you would like to come up and chat here today, give me 1 second here. Let me go ahead and share the link to my alpha chat. Give me 1 second. So if you want to come up and chat here. All right, there you go. You guys should be able to hear me. I just shared the link in my alpha chat. You guys should be good to go if you're in our alpha chat. And if you're not, feel free to join. Just shoot me a DM. The way to join actually is in my bio. I don't talk about it quite often, so I'll touch on it a bit more. A few of you have been joining over the last few days, last few weeks as well. I know Skelly Bets, Milk. Who else? Oh my gosh, if I'm forgetting, my apologies. But a bunch of you guys have been joining lately, so shout out to all of you guys. Um, Kind of hard to keep up with everyone jumping in here, but yeah, shout out to everyone again. Feel free to join our alpha group. We're pretty active bunch of you guys. I think we're up to 80 members now, so shout out to everyone that's been contributing alpha, helping one another, supporting one another. Basically, the goal of the group is to help one another win and stay up to date with the latest news, the latest opportunities as well. So again, all you need is 3 NFTs. The link right here is in my bio. They're pretty cheap as well. And then just shoot me a DM. Also, friendly reminder, we are live streaming. Let me update the banner here really quick. We are live streaming on X and on YouTube as well. The show starts at 5 p.m. EST most days. And then the link to the YouTube channel is here. So if you are joining us on YouTube, what's up? Welcome to episode 251 of the Web4 Roundtable. All right, as always, let's get the show started with some TPS metrics here on Hedera. Looks like TPS is down a bit today. Not sure what's going on here today. We're at about 1,000 TPS. I saw on our last show on Monday, I think we were hitting almost 3K. So it's definitely fluctuating. We definitely want to see more use cases live in our ecosystem, no doubt, outside of Atma, contributing, of course, to the network, to our revenue, and so on. So definitely an important KPI to be measuring. And the testnet, of course, I guess it won't let me scroll down, but I guess I just got to zoom out. Testnet's at 2 TPS right now. I've definitely seen the TPS up near 10K. So I'm very curious what use cases are waiting to go live and how that'll affect our network over time as well. So again, shout out to everyone tuning in here today. Don't forget to like and retweet the stream here today. If you're finding any value out of our shows, we're at 251. I believe September 14th. I believe September 14th will be our 1 year mark. Absolutely crazy, doing almost 5 shows a week for the past year. It's been super fun. Got to know pretty much everyone in the Hedera ecosystem that's still active or hasn't rugged or is active on X, I should say. I know some of you guys are only active on Discord and so on. Definitely some communities to note that are not here on X as well. But I do believe it is also important to update, pivot, kind of change with the times, if you will, and Twitter or X Telegram, I'm not on Telegram much, but I definitely should be. Telegram is definitely another aspect that's underlooked here in crypto as well. I just haven't made the transition just yet, but I'm planning on it for sure. All right, you guys. Well, there's the TPS. Looks like the network's going strong. We're not down. Looks like there was a Hedera maintenance earlier this morning, I believe. So that affected Adrian's mint. If you guys are gonna mint over there, I know his mint got delayed or something happened. We'll probably have him up to talk about it later on another show if he wants to discuss what went down. But looks like they're going to be redoing the mint at some point in the future. All right. Well, we have Coin market cap up here per usual. We'll discuss the fear and greed index. We're still in the 30s. Not much to discuss on it, to be honest. We're still in the yellow to orange range. That usually means that a big move is about to happen. Very much could happen to the downside. That's what a lot of people are expecting. But usually, whatever the consensus is, the opposite happens. So maybe we will get the pump, as I've been saying, October, November, December. Historically, those are usually more green months. So these are the times you want to be buying. These are the times you want to be selling. Regardless of what chart, regardless of what token you're looking at, unless there's something completely different, there's a absolutely community movement separate from the macro, chances are everything's pumping, everything's dumping. It's pretty much how the sentiment goes, and you want to be fearful when others are greedy. You want to be greedy by buying when others are selling and consolidating, capitulating. Obviously, in the right tokens, not financial advice. It doesn't work for every single thing, but you guys kind of, if you've been here for some time now, historically, if you're buying at these levels, you're probably going to do pretty well whenever we do get back into the greed section, which we're not there. So that's just a very important rule of thumb. Let's get into some of the price action here. So if you guys were here during our last show, I basically talked about where I see the market heading continually as well. So let's pull trading view up here, see what's cooking on the stochastic RSI side of things as well. Also, if you guys are here in the spaces, let me share the broadcast link. Also, don't forget to like and retweet the stream. If you find any value out of our show here today, it is the best way to support our stream. And of course, if you're rocking with any of the HBark token or you've been barking, feel free to leave a comment as well. It is another way to help our stream here. And I appreciate all of you guys that have been supporting us day in and day out as well. I'm actually really looking forward to doing more shows again. I just think at the current rate of the market, I want to be realistic and reasonable on what's actually going down in the market. And I don't think personally I can do another 5 days a week for the next 9 months if we have to wait that long. So I'm just trying to be realistic and reasonable on my end, what I got to do, take care of my own stuff as well. All right. But I do want to do it. So I hope the market is turning around as soon as possible because I want to get back to doing as many shows as possible, have a ton of fun, and I love working with you guys and highlighting whatever's going on. I'm super bullish on a lot of you guys, not everyone, but most of you guys here in the space. You guys are doing some amazing stuff. So continuing to lose momentum, which is a good thing, actually. A lot of people are like, oh, well, we want to be as high as possible. Basically, the lower this gets on momentum, essentially the more powerful of a move. So hopefully, and a lot of people don't want to hear this, hopefully we break this 50 level, which it looks like we might. It's very possible we correct at this point. So this is basically the major pivot level that I've been looking at personally at the 50 level here on the stochastic. So if we break this, I mean, it's going to be pretty much straight down on momentum. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Sure, the price could come back into the low 40s, which is pretty normal in a bull run. Again, 40% drop, pull down from the top is pretty normal during a bull run. So Bitcoin coming down into the mid to low 40s, that's totally normal, totally healthy. We want to see this momentum come all the way down. If we don't, and scenarios. So here's the two scenarios. If you're not familiar, basically, if we pivot up from here and the blue crosses above the orange, which we're currently not, we're currently losing momentum under the orange. If the blue does cross up basically around here within the next 30 days or less, like it's super soon, we will have the next stochastic RSI cross, and chances are we'll go up back up to whatever the high momentum is. If we cross up above here as well if we confirm here, unless we cross down and then it's just way choppier and a lot of people are just going to leave the market straight up. I have no doubt about that, unfortunately. So we're going to have to keep watching and seeing, but man, we got to see what happens in the next about month or so or less. It's going to be something big for the market. Whenever the RSIs cross, it's always one of the biggest events of the entire year, if not the second. It's like one and two, the first or second biggest event of the year. So whenever this crosses, I think we'll continue to lose momentum, and so it'll probably be next summer, where we're just going to have to wait and consolidate and basically regain our momentum to hit the next Pico top. I'm expecting that to happen personally. It just seems like that the longer that this takes to cross. Again, if we do have a cross within the next 30 days here, I don't think I'll give it to October. I think if we have the cross about here, because it's been about 6 months now, we had what was it, February, March was a cross. So August, September would be the latest for a cross. So we have about 15 days for this one. I mean, early October would probably be the latest. If not, then that would just mean it's overdue. And if we can just continue to straight up lose momentum, whenever that next cross up does happen, like let's just say here's a third possible scenario at this point that could happen, right? Because the markets are always evolving and changing. Okay, so let's just say we just completely lose momentum. We drop into the 40s, like mid 40s, low 40s, 43K, probably be the next bottom. And we lose all the momentum going to the end of the year, which a lot of people were, including myself, were expecting a massive pump, right? The next Pico top year. If that completely gets invalidated and we wait till maybe January, perhaps, and we're just completely out of momentum, we're down below the 10, maybe 0 range, that would be the most incredible thing for the next leg up of the bull run, which would lead into the Q1, Q2 for a cross. And once that cross happens, I mean, that would be the absolute time where if you didn't buy in at these times, again, not financial advice, but if you weren't making purchases before this cross actually happens, that would be the absolute time. And we're just talking financial side. If you're not building foundations on, if you have a project or a platform, you're a creator, an artist, whatever it is that you're doing, basically until we have this next cross, whatever it looks like, 15 days from now, a couple months from now, whatever that looks like for you, you think it's going to happen, and if it is really a cross leading into the next set of momentum, whatever that looks like, I mean, you're not preparing for that. Like, no one, if you're listening to our show here right now, like, no one can tell you or no one can give you an excuse like, hey, I wasn't ready, I didn't expect the blow off top to happen so fast, I didn't expect all season to happen at this range, I wasn't prepared, I'm not in the alpha chats, right? Like, that kind of stuff. Like, no one's going to give you the excuse or the pat on the back saying, hey, good luck next time, right? Like, no, like, when the cycle happens, you have to be absolutely prepared, absolutely ready for what is to come. So yeah, lock in. I mean, either in the next couple months, the Pico top will be here, which is still in play because we haven't broken 53K at all. If we do break it, we lose more momentum. That just means the next time we actually come back up, it's that much stronger. Which personally, yeah, do I want to wait till next summer? Definitely not. I've been waiting for a long time now. But if that happens, that would actually be the healthiest thing for Bitcoin and alt season. Alt season would be absolutely insanely powerful. Now, if we do pump very soon, then I believe alt season will happen in the beginning of next year. So, I mean, we're so incredibly close. If there's anything that gets invalidated here, I will let you guys know as soon as I see any invalidation points. This is what I'm watching personally for every single day. Whenever I do check the charts, this is literally what I look at. I don't check the daily candles or anything like that. There's only so much you can get out of them. You really got to look at those big momentum shifts. All right, and then we're still around 60 on the RSI, the regular RSI, which means we're in a bull run still. Nothing's really invalidated out there. Sure, there's some red candles here, but if you look at what they are, this is the hammer, which means a trend reversal. So basically, if you guys were listening to our show back in February, March, I said October, November would most likely be the Pico top, be the bull run. So literally, if we have a cross up here, I called it 8 months ago, whatever it was, right? So again, just continue to watch the market, see what's going on. Of course, technical analysis isn't 100% accurate at all times, right? Things can get invalidated, things can change, but just based on what I'm watching and seeing, those are my projections over the next 6 months, 3 months to a year, right? So stay level headed, stay patient, Continue to do your research as well. DYOR, find the opportunities, find the plays. Make sure you're familiar with the platforms, right? The main decks here on Hedera. We have Saucer Swap. We also have H Suite. You want to be familiar with platforms like these. You want to be familiar with. I don't think I have Centex up here, but you want to be familiar with our marketplaces, right? You want to be familiar with Centex and Kabila, Atlantis, and so on, right? You want to be familiar with all these. If you're not, again, I mean, you're going to be really out of the loop when things start to really pick up. You want to be prepared for that. All right, so I'll cover H bar here briefly again. Not going to really touch on it too much because I do believe one, alt season hasn't started yet, and two, Bitcoin isn't range. Sorry, Bitcoin is range bound. It's not in a trending market, so Bitcoin currently is not trending upwards or downwards. It's just range bound currently until we break downwards or upwards. That's when things get really exciting or really scary for a lot of people. So let me pull up Trading View as well, see what's cooking here in H bar again. I'll barely touch on it because I don't really think price action for H bar matters much until we either have a decoupling event, which would be triggered by essentially governing council members, either with major use cases going live, announced, or actually buying freaking H bar, right? Like, why aren't they buying H bar? Another conversation to be had. Something I do want to unpack and touch on a lot more as the show continues. So definitely something to stick around for. Not today. I won't be discussing that in depth today, but it's definitely something I want to be discussing. What happened to the chart? Did I press something? I think I pressed something. Oh, here you go. Okay, exit this. I must have clicked the wrong indicator or something. Yeah. See if I can pull up the stochastic. All right. I just close this. I accidentally clicked on too many indicators. I don't know how that was possible. All right, let's just look at the stochastic on the monthly. As I said, HBAR's continuing to lose a ton of momentum, which is good. As I said before, in terms of buy-in opportunities, you want to buy in at these levels down here where there's no momentum at all. Like, there's literally, like, the longer we stay down here and you look at the vibes, you look at the sentiment in this range right here for HBAR, this is literally the legendary. Like, when people ask, oh, what price did you buy HBAR at? Whatever, right? These were the times where you're like, oh my gosh, like, you're a legend if you're buying at these levels in terms of momentum. You're buying at 3 cents, whatever cent range you were at, right? Okay, well, we're actually almost 75% to 100% higher than those ranges right now, and our momentum's almost at the exact same spot. So if that doesn't tell you anything in terms of bullishness, regardless of how many tokens are out there in total, which for me, I'm actually bullish on more tokens being out. I know some people try to, I guess I'll just call it as it is, in my opinion, engagement farm, saying, oh, look at how many tokens and how, how many tokens are out. That means your investment's going to zero, that kind of stuff. Like, no, like, the more tokens that are out there, the better, because that means that we're going to get a lot closer to that decentralized future. And as I said, the moment that the governing council ends up buying tokens, their use cases go live, like, that's the biggest game changer on top of any major retail use case that goes live as well. So again, you want to be making purchases, not financial advice, at the absolute bottom of momentum. And basically the only place to go from here is to continue to chop, continue to not confirm above these levels. And until we actually break above, which it looks like until that orange goes below, not only do we have to break above this, but we have to confirm above it as well and not get rejected. So we still have a ways to go. And as I said before, it very well could be January, February, where we confirm above the 20 level on the stochastic and continue upwards. But that would take Bitcoin to have that cross up, as I was talking about. Bitcoin does not. All your altcoins, go look at any of them. I dare you to go look at any of them. Most of their momentum will be below this 20 level, if not very close to zero, which basically means we are the complete opposite of alt season. And usually altcoins are pretty low on momentum, especially on the stochastic, before alt season starts, which means that we're very, very close. we're very similar to basically past cycles as well, in terms of price action, in terms of momentum and sentiment as well. So I haven't really seen anything that concerns me, either in price action or sentiment. Of course, no one enjoys, no one's having fun if you're not making money, essentially, unless you really are passionate about what you're building. But most people are here. I comment on some people's posts recently. Most people are here to make money. I get it. It's all right. Well, I messed up that with that. All right. Well, it's freezing up here. I'll just kind of leave it, let it reset here. But yeah, most people are here to make money. That's totally fine. I mean, I've been here for quite some time. I'd like to make money as well, but I like to build and create things and express myself. It looks like the feed crashed for a couple seconds there, but yeah, I want to be able to have fun, on top of making money as well. So definitely being able to build and help, share just kind of what's happening here in the space. And as I said, on the 1 year, we're basically a year ago, we're almost at the exact same price. A lot of tokens are actually a lot further down on the 1 year, and HBAR is about at the same level. So if we're going to replicate any of this and go much higher, I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of people in the ecosystem are looking forward to it as well. And we're basically at the RSI levels, and we're again about 75 to 100% higher, than the absolute bottom of the bear market price. Of course, it'd be really nice if we were much higher, like Solana or something, but we do need quite a bit to change. And we've talked about it here endlessly at this point on the show. We need marketing, we need more use cases, we need just more announcements of certain things as well. But the marketing is going to be the big one. I do believe that, and ways people can make money. I know some posts are going around saying vibes are down and people are upset or whatever. Well, guess what? When was the last time we had a mint and people are up? Right? You got to be able to mint, and people really want, the average minter degen. They want to be able to flip it, and if they want to buy in again, or they want to really ape into communities, they want to feel like they can be up on their mint price, and we don't really have that in anywhere really in crypto right now, and HBAR is no exception. I'm sure there are some exceptions to that, and I'm sure we can name some examples. If you are a project that minted within the last, and I'm talking like the last 6 months, like I don't even know, and obviously I've minted a few projects. Shout out to everyone that has gone to market within the last 6 months or so. I mean, this is tough. Like the sentiment is absolutely, let me go back to the sentiment here. Like if you're doing anything essentially in the market, like hats off to you. Like it's absolutely tough. You're basically building and creating and marketing in some of the worst times, and it's really worst times in terms of sentiment. It's absolutely brutal to get anyone interested in anything. Like it's, if people are not excited, and look, we're making lower lows on sentiment. Like it can only get so bad. And like I said, I've never seen 25.88 on the fear and greed index. We went lower than the bear market in sentiment recently. Like this is basically a bear market, and we're in a freaking bull run. Like I can't make this stuff up. This is absolutely crazy. So if you've been doing anything basically in the last 6 months, since like April, maybe even March, I mean, hats off to you. It's very tough. If you stuck around, if you're a content creator, if you're a platform, any of that stuff, like I have a ton of respect for most of the people that stuck around, especially this past year as well. Obviously, it's easy, and we saw a bunch of people come out of nowhere, try to mint in February, March, whatever, and it's super easy to just kind of make some money here or trade or whatever. But the people that are really sticking around here, pay attention to them, follow them, keep tabs on them, because if they are here and they're still here around these times, I'm here to support them. I'm going to continue to support them wherever I can. But it's going to be so easy to see a bunch of people come out of nowhere here and say, "Oh, I've been here building this whole time" or whatever, and I'm like, "Oh, well, I never even heard of you or heard from you," so not sure what that's all about. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when we get here. I think everyone is at this point. We're kind of tired, kind of tired of waiting and getting tired of the market, but um, I do believe patience will only be rewarded to those. Sorry, rewards will only be given to those that are very patient. But seeing these lower lows on sentiment, while Bitcoin and most of your tokens are holding up pretty well, like this is opposite of what price action is more or less doing, at least for Bitcoin. And I mean, that makes me so freaking bullish. I can't even tell you guys. Like, this is absolutely insane. And this is about the same amount of time too that we were down here in sentiment from last year. So if this is anything to be expecting coming up, I think we'll absolutely blow past 20 cents. And regardless of where H bar actually ends up, just at current, here's a speculative price prediction. Here's just something absolutely crazy. Don't take it with a grain of salt. But if H bar at this current 737 fear level on the coin market cap total crypto fear ingredient index, if H bar is sitting at 5 cents and the bear market low was like 3 cents, so that's what 60% up, I think it is. So 60% up. So 60% up from 20 cents, I believe, was the peak recently when we had the foundation and RCAX announcement in this range over here. If the next peak is 60% higher than 20 cents, what is that, 12 cents higher? So we'll at minimum, just based on sentiment alone, 32 cents based on 60% higher would be the absolute minimum for H bar's next leg up. In terms of price action beyond that, I can't speak to that. I basically said prior to that, I speculated about double, a little bit over double that. So 60% plus another 100% ish, I think is a pretty strong leg up. And I'd probably really advise most people listening to take profits unless H bar just has some insane announcements, breaks into the top 10. Then I have no doubt a dollar, maybe a couple dollars is in line for Hedera. But I mean, a lot of things are still on the table. A lot of things need to happen. We still don't really have any DeFi or lending or any of that kind of stuff. DeFi lending and borrowing protocols, I should say, even though we're going to touch on it here briefly as well pertaining to the space, but that's a massive aspect that we need to really put us on the map. Of course, we need more USDC as well here on Hedera. So there's still a lot of things that are lacking, still a lot of things that we need for our ecosystem. But the moment that those things happen, I do think I don't really see a future where once we have enough in our ecosystem on top of marketing and so on, I don't see a world where we're not firmly in the top 10 and in terms of developers building on Hedera and so on. But a lot of things got to change. And that's also why, for me personally, especially as the market continues at this rate, especially if we have to wait like another 9 months, we're going to completely redo our show here. I know it's a lot of alpha, especially if you're a creator here in the space. I highly implore you, first of all, keep going. There's an unprecedented value opportunity here that's very much untapped. There's very few creators, anyone really doing much on Hedera. There's probably maybe 100 unique people or less really going crazy on Hedera, showing up every day. I'm in terms of like creators, builders, platforms, that kind of stuff. There's probably a good 500 to 1,000 people most days engaging with content, buying NFTs, DeFi, that kind of stuff. I think DeFi it's a little bit higher, but the moment that we get a lot more sentiment, that definitely 2, 3, 5x's for sure. And I'm looking forward to those days. We also have to kind of lock in during these times as well when there's quite a few less of us and other ecosystems. Yeah, some people will say, oh, look at, there's like on Solana, there's like 5 million accounts active. Like I think that's a lot of bullshit, to be honest. There's a lot of developers and scammers over there that are manipulating wallets and trying to showcase some metrics that are not necessarily real. I've looked into it for sure. I mean, there's only thousands of people here in crypto still, maybe a few 10,000. Like it's not that much. Hedera has quite the fighting chance, especially when we have something like karate combat as well. Absolutely killer use case. Again, if you're not pushing karate combat, and I'm not even talking about the token, again, not financial advice, but just the exposure play for our ecosystem, absolutely killer, absolutely underrated still. And until we get over 1 million people every single event, voting, participating, engaging with the platform, and that's just a massive opportunity for Hedera. Because guess what? If you're new here, Karate Combat is built on Hedera. It's on the mat. It's a massive exposure piece for our ecosystem, and we got to continue to showcase. I have some ideas for it as well. And I'll unveil some of that stuff very soon. But as I said before, if we are going to have to wait another 9 months, if scenario 2 is currently playing out, which I think it is, but as we know, this market's volatile. It can change on a dime. I'm more than happy if the Pico top happens in the next few months for Bitcoin, and then alt season starts, which this is what this next chart is showing you. Basically, the higher percentage Bitcoin is 55.76 up there, the higher it is, basically the further we are from alt season. And then the lower Bitcoin is, so something like this, right? See where it says 37.89. We want Bitcoin basically to be in the 30s, low 30s, as low as possible, essentially, for all season to basically be in 100%. So, and then you can see others right there at the bottom. It says 29.72. Where's another peak over here? We have 48. All season went to almost 50, a little bit over 50% at one point. So I think it's getting weaker though, a little bit weaker as the cycles go on. So we'll see how high this cycle goes. We've gone nowhere. Altcoin dominance since 2021. Basically, the last Pico top. This is literally the top last time, 31%. So basically, we want altcoins to be about 31%, 31 to 33% of the market. We want Bitcoin to be around 40% or less. So right now, you can look at the numbers. Bitcoin needs to be about 15% less dominant, and others needs to basically gain that 15%. So basically, the profits made from Bitcoin has to flow into altcoins and so on, right? And then after you get all that, that's usually when DeFi is really popping off during that time. And then, of course, your NFTs really, after all those profits, people want to show off. They want to mint some stuff. They want to get excited. They want to speculate, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, just stay locked in, level headed. I think 2025, if we don't get the Pico top in the next couple months, 2025 is going to be an absolutely insane year. And like I said, we haven't had alt season yet. So, yeah, I mean, I can kind of only just keep repeating myself here, but less shows, more quality, more interviews, more specific platforms, more conversations around specific things. I think that's the next move, because the more we get more chop, I don't really think there's a point in talking just about price action, because no one's going to really care. They're just going to be tuned out of the market until things are going up only, essentially, right? So I'm aware of that. I've been doing this for about a year now. I'm very much well aware. We've been doing it since let's see, where was that? That's October. So we started our show about here. So the only thing that's essentially changed, you guys can see the chart here. The only thing that's really changed is Bitcoin's been more dominant. Solana has increased in dominance. Binance token has leveled out a bit. It's increased slightly in dominance. USDT has gone a bit more robust as well. And then Ethereum has actually lost dominance to Bitcoin. So Ethereum's actually going down. So for the people that are bullish on Ethereum, what have you, I mean, Ethereum's only lost dominance to Bitcoin as well, which is pretty normal for the bull run. And then we have other altcoins only at 20%, and they've slightly lost dominance to Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's definitely gained quite a bit of dominance as of late. So that's pretty normal for a bull run as well. And we want to still see, basically, the more that all these trend down, that's basically the longer Bitcoin's going to be in power, and then Bitcoin basically has to lose it. So the more that these go up, we want to basically see this go up like this for the peak to actually be in. So I'm going to be watching this every day. I'll be covering it as often as possible with you guys. And again, my whole goal here with the show, with our alpha chat as well. Again, if you're not in our alpha chat, feel free to just head on X really quick. If you're listening to my voice here, the link is in my bio here. If you're not in it already, it is going to be one of the best ways for you to prepare for this coming bull run. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you guys free mints, whitelists, all that kind of stuff when the opportunities come up. I've already done it for the last year and a half now at this point for you guys, those of you that have been in there, that have been super active. I'm just going to continue to show up. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys make a ton of money and better yourselves, better your lives here every single day. Friendly reminder, our show is sponsored. Best way to support our show, like and retweet the show as well here. Episode 251 of the Web4 Roundtable. We're going to start wrapping up here soon as well. But I appreciate all of you guys tuning in here today. I see George, Blockspar, Khalifas, Rabbit, Eisen Jake, Raptor, Ciano, everyone else on the live stream as well. Feel free to leave a live comment as well on the live stream if you're here. Feel free to let us know here. But shout out to everyone tuning in here today. And again, don't forget to like and retweet if you found any value out of our show. here today. All right. Oh, and our show is sponsored here today as well. Want to give you guys a friendly reminder at Gilmore_Estates and the GC token. Shout out to them for sponsoring our show here today. They're tokenizing real estate on Hedera. Very excited to see what they're continuing to do here in the space. The token ID is 0.0324148. I'm going to continue to make some more graphics. If you guys have any suggestions on graphics or how we can continue to improve the show before we really kick off into the full bull run, do let me know. My DMs are open. All right, so it looks like we got Skelly Bets Ocho tournament later tonight, 8 p.m. EST. So that should be about in about almost 2 hours from now as well. Shout out to Skelly Bets. We interviewed them about 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, on a Friday or Thursday. I thought the interview went well. I think their platform is really nice as well. Free entry. Oh, wow. And it's a 300 HBAR prize. So, yeah, all you got to do is like and retweet it, comment your wallet ID, and then join the room as well. I might actually jump up on that. Obviously, 300 HBAR is a nice is a nice win. I think is that like $15 or something? That's not bad. And then first player to 3 wins is the official winner. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Let's see. Looks like a bunch of you guys are already commenting as well. So, yeah, feel free to go join in. Skelly Biss just joined our alpha chat as well. So, shout out to you, brother. Appreciate the support. All right. So, let's see. There's a 30-day grace period on the HNS to extend their names should they ever become expired. So, go check that out if you own any HNS tokens. It looks like there's an marketing update for HIP.251, empowering NFT users and issuers with greater flexibility and control from the main Hedera account. So check that one out if you want to learn more about supply key functionality as well. There's a lot of HIPs, honestly, that have been coming out. And basically, if you're not familiar with the with the HIPs, essentially these are ways that the network's continuing to be built on, improved upon, and developers, of course, can create new things like dynamic hash signals is an example as well. So that's very important to be aware of. We talked about Bonzo Finance on Monday as well. And as I said before, DeFi, lending, borrowing, that kind of stuff is very important for our ecosystem. And starting to see Bonzo, I believe Serial Finance, they'll be down here as well. They sold out a couple days ago. Shout out to them as well. We'll have to get them on the show soon as well. Road to Mainnet, we've got some important updates to share on their progress, the Super Oracle's delay, and what's coming next. So they have a thread. Go check it out. Shout out to Bonzo Finance. I'm super bullish on what they're doing, what all the borrowing and lending protocols on Hedera are doing as well. It looks like Neuron is like the first 3 use cases I ever heard of on Hedera. One of the main reasons I was super bullish and was basically went all in on Hedera. So it's great to see that they secured a 3.5 million seed round to build the next generation of DePIN edge infrastructure built on Hedera. So go check out their article, go see what's going on over there with their seed round. Super bullish on Neuron as well. All right, let's see. You love to see more and more builders here on Hedera talking about the transactions beyond TPS. Essentially, you guys can kind of just read this here, but basically just seeing like what does activity on Hedera look like the last day, the last hour, the last minute, just kind of how much is how sticky is the ecosystem essentially. So if someone interacted 24 hours ago, did they also interact a day ago? Did they also interact within the last hour? Or yeah, day, hour, minute. I think I said in a different order. That's really fascinating. So shout out to Rapunzel here, Field, and the day one. Shoot them a follow. They've been creating a lot of good content. I've been sharing them in our alpha chat. We'll have to get you maybe we'll have you on the show very soon as well. But shout out to Field and the day one. Go check out what they're doing. Shoot them a follow as well. All right, Tom, we have Pluto down here as well. There's quite a few votes here. So Pluto, how much do you value the ability to rekey accounts on Hedera? I voted a lot. You guys can see my vote here. I'm very curious about the not at all. So what is that? 237, 16%. That's about 40-ish people out of 237. I'm very curious, especially if you voted not at all. Maybe I'll see some comments here. I also posted a comment, so I'll touch on that. But I do believe that it's extremely important to be able to re-account. There's so many reasons why. I just said there's a lot of reasons needed. Let me see if anyone said no really quick. Most people are commenting yes. Let's see, a lot, a lot. Okay, a lot, a lot. Okay, let's see if anyone said no. Okay, yeah, yeah. I don't. Some crazy comments. Okay, well, I don't see anyone that voted not at all making a comment. So not sure why anyone would vote that personally. Again, if you have no reason to rekey your account, let me know. Let me know below. Also, if you're just not familiar with what this means or what's going on with this, I'd highly recommend, especially if you're engaging with smart contracts often and maybe you accidentally link to the wrong website or whatever, which in Hedera, we don't really have a lot of that as a concern because we don't really have a lot of scammers here. But the moment that actually happens, something that I'd highly recommend, and a couple things here's some some house rules, if you will. If you're new to Web3, to our space, to Hedera, whatever, um, you should not have your main assets in the wallet that you're normally trading with, if that makes sense. I'll say it again. If you have your main bag of whatever token, whatever H bar, whatever tokens, your DEX tokens, whatever, your memes, you should not have those tokens in a wallet that's actively trading other tokens. So basically, leave it in a cold wallet, leave it in your ledger, whatever. Don't engage with that token outside of sending and transferring, perhaps, to a different wallet. If you're going to be trading anything, create a separate wallet and then trade those funds in there. But never have your main bag in a trading wallet, because just in case you accidentally sign something that you weren't supposed to, which I don't want to be fear mongering. I don't want anyone to be too concerned. Like, we have Hashback, we have Stock to Swap, we have HSuite, like all these different platforms. Last I checked, at least they're secure. There shouldn't really be any concern when you're signing anything, but just to be abundantly safe in the event that somehow you signed the wrong thing somewhere along the lines, which I don't really know has ever really happened on Hedera personally, unless you're actually clicking on a malicious site, which the DApps in Hashback are fine. And you're those are the actual apps. But if you're clicking elsewhere outside of the correct Hashback or the correct saucer swap or HStreet or whatever it is, you are exposing yourself to losing your entire bag, and that has happened before. So again, not fear mongering, just making sure that people are aware that you should only be trading part of your bag in hot wallets, leaving the rest of your bag in the cold wallets that are not signing anything. That's very important. Now, if you do lose, if your wallet's compromised for some reason, that is why I'm actually going into this, because it is important to rekey your account, because I've dealt with the scams before in the space, and basically a lot of them don't rekey your account right away. They'll just drain whatever's in it. So worst case scenario, obviously you lose your bag or you lose whatever was in that. Hopefully it's a hot wallet, but you could rekey your account really fast, which is in Hashback. It is a feature. I highly recommend you guys, if you're listening, go test it out. Be familiar with this process as well, just in the off chance that something ever does happen and you don't completely lose the wallet. And if you're fast enough, if you realize your account's compromised, maybe you check the history and there's transactions that shouldn't be there. If you still have access to that account, you should be rekeying it immediately. If you ever feel sketched out about anything, writing it down. Obviously, don't ever take a picture of it on your phone. Here's something else that a lot of people probably don't know if you're new, especially. Don't ever take a picture of your seed phrases, any of that kind of stuff. Write them down as fast as you can, because, or maybe I guess you could take a picture of it and then reset it and then reset it again and write it down. I know it's a lot of work, but basically there is like AI scammer bots and malware in certain apps nowadays, where if you do have pictures, and I know this is like super new too, if you have pictures of seed phrases, they can actually look for patterns of keystrokes in your phone, or of course pictures, and find them in there as well. So I think it's happening a lot in other countries, but if you're in the US, I think it's just a matter of time before stuff like that does happen. So you basically, and even if you feel safe and you're writing down your seed phrase, and you're like, oh, well, I never had it on my phone, right? I never took a picture. Well, guess what? If your phone was nearby and maybe your phone was looking at your screen or your computer, you have your little webcam right there, and you were looking at it was looking at your paper or whatever. Like literally, you have to be abundantly cautious. I try my best to be when I write, and this isn't just when you write it down either. When you open it back up, you're entering your ledger information or your phone or whatever, like literally no camera can ever look at your seed phrase because you have no idea what's looking through the camera, what's taking pictures, whatever. So like being abundantly cautious, especially going into this bull run. The scammers really come out during the bull run, and are here to absolutely drain your wallets. And it's happened. People have, I mean, there's scammers. What was it, 2 years ago on Thanksgiving? I was doing my best to spread the word that there was a scam going around. A fake hashback website was uh, in the history in the transactions, and people thought it was real because your staking rewards, right? People thought they got airdropped HBAR or whatever, and yeah, it was just super unfortunate. I think they walked away with hundreds of thousands of HBAR. I think it was like 400,000 or more HBAR, like absolutely insane. On a holiday too. So a lot of people were just gone, and a lot of people just kind of looked at their wallet and were like, "Oh, I got free HBAR. I might as well put my private key over here." And a lot of people got drained, especially if you didn't have your stuff in a hot wallet. As I was saying before, right? You have to have multiple layers of protection of yourself, or you are going to get wrecked. Like it does not matter how hard you work or what you're doing or how much you make in this space. If you get wrecked, you get taken out of the game. Like you don't want that to be your story, and unfortunately, it is a lot of people's stories. And they just leave. They don't come back, and you don't want to see more people get wrecked in this space. I want to see you guys absolutely win, and security practices, safety practices should be your priority, one of your main priorities for sure. I do believe DREC is going to help a lot with that, but I don't know if it's like a mainstream thing yet or what. DREC will definitely be something that'll help in terms of hard breaking through wallets, I believe. But if you sign a contract, smart contract, whatever it is, and again, smart contracts aren't bad. It's just they can be used for malicious things. Smart contracts, you're signing a wrong transaction. Doesn't matter if you're. I assume it doesn't matter if you're using DREC. It grants access essentially to your account to make a transfer and transfer your assets essentially, or however they program it. Obviously, it could just transfer HBAR, transfer NFTs, whatever. So very important, very very important to be aware of as well. All right. There's a Hedera technical community call that happened yesterday. It looks like it happened during the election, though. So I'm assuming that got impacted quite a bit. Not the election. What am I saying? The debate yesterday. If you guys listened to the debate, I'm curious what you guys think. Feel free to leave a comment down the live stream if you have a take on the debate yesterday as well. Shout out to Dovu. They have a Dovu marketplace powered by Dovu. I haven't actually checked it out yet, but go check it out. Trust chain for the world's ecological credits. Super bullish on Dovu and what they're doing as well. I haven't actually read this yet, but Brady looks like he wrote an article, "The Need for Clear Vision and Metrics" by Hedera. Perhaps I'll read through it probably later today at some point. Maybe we'll cover it. Yeah, we should definitely cover this on the show very soon. I totally forgot about it before the show, but as I said, less shows, more quality, more content, more speakers specifically is going to be one of the biggest moves here because, and we've done it. I mean, we've had so many speakers. We've interviewed almost everyone in the ecosystem that I think is worth interviewing and building still on Hedera that stuck around. I'm very cautious on who we're interviewing as well, and I don't always do it week to week. Sometimes we do, but yeah, I'm just kind of skimming it here. But we do need to cover this. I think Brady's doing a great job in the community. He's the founder of Bonzo as well. He just said the potential. We'll wrap up the show here, and we'll reconnect next week. And again, feel free to join our alpha chat as well if you're not in it already. Again, the link is in my bio on X. Shoot me a DM once you've picked up the NFTs. They're super cheap as well. But I'm looking forward to onboarding more of you guys. I really want to connect with you all and do my best to continue to support you guys however I'm able to. Brady said this in conclusion of his article: the potential of Hedera is immense, but realizing that potential requires clear direction. Time for Hedera to lead, not just in technology, but in vision and strategic clarity. The future of the Hedera network depends on it. I completely agree with that. the future of the network definitely depends on strategic marketing and clarity. And with that, this has been the Web4 Roundtable, episode 251, sponsored by Gilmore_Estates and the GC token, tokenizing real estate on Hedera, 0.0324148. Shout out to everyone tuning in here today. Don't forget to like and retweet the show. If you found any value, any alpha, any vibes from our show, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys for episode 252 next week on Monday. Much love, you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you all in the alpha chat. Much love, you guys. Peace, y'all.